Today, I'm going to challenge myself to write a jam in under 20 minutes, because I'm a glutton for punishment. There's a fly in here and it's making me crazy. As if recording on these tight time constraints wasn't hard enough, I'm also going to have a baby strapped to my back. Now that I've got the timer going, let's start. The first thing I'm going to track is guitar. I have this cool deadbeat modulation station pedal with a really wild phaser, and I'm using that to sort of inspire my riff. I discovered this strange open chord this morning while I was setting up my amp, and I'm going to use that to inspire my riff. It took me a couple minutes to find a pattern that I really liked, but once I found it, I looped it a bunch of times so that I could play my bass parts over it. I grabbed my bass to sit down to start plucking away at a cool riff, but guess what? My bass was super out of tune. So I had to spend 3 dread-filled minutes trying to get it in tune, and I finally did.
Okay, here we go, bass.
The bass riff came really quick. I don't exactly know what happened. It was one of those lightning bolt moments where it just sort of came out. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, man, that feels great. By the time I finished looping my bass, I had 9 minutes to record everything else, so I threw some ear protection on my little guy and I jumped on the drums. Instead of taking a passage from my drum take and looping it, I'm gonna just play straight through. It took me about 2 takes to get a drum pass that I really liked, but once I nailed that down, I jumped over to synth. I frantically tapped through a bunch of synth settings to get a sound that I liked, and I finally landed on something. By the time I finished recording and looping my synth part, I overambitiously began to set up to record a vocal track, but the timer ended up going off before I could get my headphones unraveled. Now that my time is up and everything is tracked, I'm going to put a few plugins on just to spice things up a little bit. I'm going to put a weird panning effect on the synthesizer just to add some character, and some weird stereo delay on the guitars just for fun. This was a really fun exercise. It forced me to commit to my decisions and not second guess my instincts, and I got to walk away with a cool song idea at the end of the day that I could flesh out later and add a bunch of stuff to. If you're bored and you're looking for a musical project, I would highly recommend you try this. I think you might be surprised with what you walk away from forcing yourself to do something so quickly. If you like this video, give it a like, leave me a comment if you've ever tried anything like this before, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you look down below, there's also a bell icon. If you hit that bell icon, it'll notify you every single time I post an episode. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.